Hey there, this is Home Inspector Dan, coming to you from Buckeye, Arizona today. I thought it was a pretty normal looking house, but then I went inside and everything kind of went downhill. So I'm a little bit confused on this microwave. It's got the regular turntable. Wow, that got hot. It shouldn't get that hot. But it did have this roller underneath it. With the roller under there, it didn't want to spin at all, but after you take the roller out, it does want to spin. And that's like impossible to see. It stops turning. So now let's just do the same thing. Look at that. It sits so high it won't even grab. There it's turning, but I have little faith. So I've ran it a couple times. Let's see what this microwave looks like after I run it for a couple minutes. Right now we're at 105 degrees on the glass, 113 degrees on the glass, and the hot spots, corners are like 97. I have a feeling that this glass turntable was not made for this microwave. Feel the heat coming out of there. Look at that, 140 degrees. After 2 minutes, yeah, this thing is so hot I can't even hardly touch it. Can you imagine if your kids were cooking in there and they accidentally put their hand on that? That's 140 degrees. Now we normally test the flow of the water fixtures in the bathroom by running the sinks, both the sinks, bathtub, shower, flush toilet. I don't have to do that, I don't have to do that. That's got a low flow. It's hardly even coming out. That's gonna take at least a half hour to fill that bathtub. And you can tell how slow these sinks are. That's taking about 5 minutes just to get that full. Let's see how it drains. It's not draining at all. No flex trap. Well, it probably has some hair down in it, so let's get something down in there and clean that clog out. So even with the sinks off and the tub still filling, because that's going to be a while, turn the shower on and look at that. It's all the way on. Let's see what happens when you turn the bathtub off. Yeah, a little better flow now. So you can't take a bath and shower at the same time, but yeah, that makes sense. And then just a couple doors down from the other bathroom over there, testing this sink, testing that sink. Flow is much better out of these sinks. Even out of the bathtub, it's a little better. Not much though. Let's see. Definitely enough to take a shower. Not much different with the toilet on. So some of the fixtures in the house seem like they had some low flow to them, right? Well, for 80 psi, that's not normal. 80 psi, we should be getting plenty of flow up in those bathrooms. Going on with that window. It's not going to open. Time to get your ducts cleaned. Well, if you want your AC and HVAC system to last a long time, you got to do a better job about changing out the filters, cleaning these out. This is all going to slow down your air supply to all the rooms. This house is protected by Simply Save. Actually not familiar with the systems, but I hear really good things about them. I'd love to get one in the future. Doorbell camera actually looks pretty much like a Nest doorbell. One thing I like about the Simply Safe system is you can get a water detection meter. So you can get a little device that goes next to your water heater. If this starts leaking, it'll send a signal off to the main unit and tell you that you've got a leak. We don't have one installed here, but I would definitely recommend it if they're going to keep this system. We can see that they still have the original sensors installed. Those are going to be pre-wired throughout the house, going to your regular alarm system inside. But then also next to it is that little wireless sensor. That's going to be for your Simply Safe system. So you can take either of them out if you really want to. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but those are hardwired in, and those are going to be wireless. Just like these sensors are wireless too. So according to this sheet that's put up in the garage of most homes nowadays, we've got an R value of 38 up in the attic of bone-in insulation, 45 bags of it to cover 1,080 square feet. This was completed back in 2007. So I can expect a little bit of settlement up there in the insulation, maybe a little bit of work. It looks like we had a roof leak over the patio. There's our water leak bubble. Kind of forms over the top of this flat patio surface on the back side of the house. So I actually think there's probably an active roof leak down on the patio. I thought maybe it was an old leak, but with all the buckling going on here, the exposed nail heads, yeah, we need a roofer to come out. Take a look at this. That's not the way it should be. Pretty cool patio overlooking this pool. Nice oversized back corner lot. Look at how big these gaps are though. I can stick my hand through there. Barely. Way too big. 4 inches. 4 inches is what I'm looking for. Obviously you can understand if some child wants to put their head out here, there's absolutely nothing stopping them from going off over the edge. And a little bit of work needed there. This is all wood, probably needs to be repainted. You can tell that some of the wood finish is coming off, or the paint finish. It's alright, needs some fixing up, but it needs new posts. Those are too big. This whole thing is leaning away from the house. I could sneak by this if I wanted to. Look at that. So here's our blown-in insulation up in the attic. Got our 2 air handlers here. 2 drip pans to catch any moisture that might be dripping. Look pretty good today. That's an 07 unit. This is a 2021 unit. So our depth of insulation, at least a full hand. This would be another good place to put that water sensor for that Simply Safe system. They're wireless, they only run on batteries. You can drop one down in this pan, and then if this thing starts leaking, it'll send you a signal on your phone and let you know that, hey, you need to get the HVAC guy up here. Let's see, what do we have for a date? 2006. Well past due. 10 years. You get 10 years on a smoke detector. That's all you get, and then you need to be swapping it out. How many nails do you think you need to hold all that up there? Couple? Yep, a few. Couple more. And I hope they found the studs. Look at how many nails they used. Look, it's glorified pallet wood. $1. Just another unfinished flooring job. So this does not open. If you want my personal recommendation, if you've got a door or a drawer that doesn't open like this, do not put a knob on it. Because me and everybody else pulling on this knob is slowly gonna break that over here and have problems. We can tell here they've replaced this knob. Actually, it doesn't match any of the other ones. It's a little bit smaller. Do you wonder why? Probably wouldn't go buy a big one. Just the sprinklers are turning on back here right now. It's great. It's not a very good head. These are older heads too. Actually, looking at some of this flashing here, it's full of debris. Tons of debris crap in there. But it's actually bent up here at the end, so it looks like it's a slide. Looks like the birds are sliding off into the pool with a big old jump on the end of it, but that's going to pool water right there. That's probably causing some water issues. And anytime I see a bunch of bird crap, almost always the roofs have solar panels. Just something about the solar panels gives them a place to go. This one's actually got some pretty good screening around it. So not too worried about the birds getting under there, but once stuff does start going under there, it just builds up. Causes more and more problems. But cool view out here today. We're out in Buckeye. Probably about a 50-minute drive from Gilbert, where I'm from. Luke Air Force Base is out here, so we get to see and hear quite a few fighter jets fly over quite often. Hey, are you with the Air Force? Other than a cracked tile and a couple slip tiles up on that ridge and a plastic L, this roof looks good to go. Yeah, not so good. I thought it was better than that. So when I got here today, there was actually a little pile of green moss growing down here, and I thought it was coming from the AC drip pan up in the attic. It's a 2-story house. So I look over here and I got 2 drip lines, and I'm like, well, look up, I got 2 other drip lines to the drip pan up there, so this has got to be from the water heater. Water heater's got a little bit of age to it. It's an old A.O. Smith, but this is your TPR line that's connected directly to that. When I flip that valve open, you can actually, I know we're not supposed to do this as home inspectors, but it's already leaking, and I had to verify that that's where it was coming out of. Yep. You got a leaky TPR valve. It's not too expensive to replace, but honestly at this point, you're just going to replace this whole thing. And you could put a tankless up on the wall in the back there, get rid of some of this space, or free up some of the space to use maybe a water filter, tankless water heater up on the wall. Be a great combo here. Get that water filter out of there, move the water filter here, put a tankless up on top, or just replace the water heater. Some of the cement here on the property isn't very well supported. We've got areas there it's open underneath the concrete where we can get pests and water and anything else get in there, and then it flushes all that dirt out, and then we lose our stability of the concrete and we start getting some cracking. That expansion joint goes across the whole surface of the concrete there, and that's perfectly fine, but when we get extra cracking over here on the side, that's starting to tell me that this is starting to settle. 2 things. Did y'all forget about what electricity does in water? 2, those bulbs are going to break and fall in the pool. I'm not going to come over and drain this pool to find all the glass. And the concrete pad on the side of the house has definitely got a big old depression right on the back side of it, so it's going to build up water there and pond in this area, and then it's just going to slowly erode underneath the concrete there. Cause you more problems. Well, we got more problems up in that corner. You can see the massive depression right here where the irrigation sprinkler lines down and out and through. This is also the main water supply comes through this area, so this big depression here is just going to pool and fill full of water. It's coming in from that main water meter right there, so underground, coming up here, here's your main water shut off, here's your water pressure regulator, which might need some adjustment because we got so low right there. Let's just check the pressure and see what we got. Solar panels, Solar City, I believe that was bought out by Tesla several years ago. I'd love to check your electrical box, but nobody gave me the combo. It's kind of hard. Well, I can definitely tell that this slab on the side of the driveway was installed at a later date. The only concern I have, it looks great. Like the concrete itself looks phenomenal. I don't hardly see any cracking in it, but we got irrigation control manifold right there. And then you've got your main plumbing cleanouts. That's telling me that your main plumbing cleanouts are going to be underneath this concrete now. So either it goes a little bit this way or that way. It's going to be under the concrete either way. So if you have any problems with this line, you're going to have to take this concrete up with it. Right inside the second floor patio, yeah, you can tell there's been a bird here a little bit. We're looking at this wood laminate flooring. You can see all the gaps that are in the floor right there. Got more gaps here, more gaps there, more gaps there. Quite a few gaps. It's actually looking in a few places like it's gotten wet. See how it's curled up on the edges there? Probably had some moisture here. Either they left the door open in the rain and mopped the area, but chances are they just got some rainwater in there. Rubbing a little bit at the top. Clean that up. She's loose. Usually it only takes a couple turns. Taking everything back up. I don't know, some people just either don't have a screwdriver or they just don't want to take the extra minute. Tighten everything down. That's the way it should be. There you go. Don't have to write that up now. But I am going to write this up. Yeesh, that's a good one. So there's not too much going on at this house today, but there is a couple things that should be brought to my client's attention. So this wall is just, look at this thing. Looks like a rhinestone belt buckle. It's amazing what I can find on just a 16-year-old house. It doesn't take very long for damages like this to happen. If people aren't taking care of their house, it just starts falling apart. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Get a hold of me at homeinspectordan.com. It brings you right to the YouTube page. I work for BPG Inspections in Phoenix. You can schedule me at bpginspections.com or 800-285-3001.